if you're elected mayor, how will you ensure that minority-owned businesses have fair access to city contracts? And I can kind of qualify it a bit more. One of the issue is that we as a community, that that information aspect, that familiarity with the administration, there is a lack of it. And I won't go into structural pieces, but there is an origin story of each community, each community type, and the level of comfort, the information that is available to them, their language barriers, things like that. So, is the city going to look at our community from that perspective and try to provide the information in the format that we can accept and digest?
Yeah, and I think one thing, again, we just we we have new people in our purchasing department, and they've really done a good job, and they've set up these vendor meetings. But I think one of the things we try in some of our other departments is kind of to have liaisons into different communities. So I think it would be great if we could find someone within the Asian business community that could be a liaison with our purchasing department. And so then we can, but maybe we do vendor meetings for groups, and we kind of, I think that would be the way that I would suggest going forward. Now that we do have the online bidding process and some things in place on the city end, I do think that there's going to be more opportunity.
Great.
And
And
Mayor,
then,
that is a great point. We would love to continue to work with you. And then maybe just help advocate how we can all work together, because please see us as that doorway or an assistant in the community to help you to connect with the Asian business further locally.
And then
awesome.
also having the business liaison, we want to be able to make sure we can bring programming to the business community. And if we have that liaison, we can cater it maybe to different communities as well.
And Mayor, would you commit to, if you get elected, would you commit to taking steps toward that direction, to creating that liaison and that relationship within the administration?
Absolutely. We've got that different community liaisons, like with our police department and others. So it's something we've implemented in other areas. And so I think it would be great to do this. And I think our purchasing department, and actually they've got some high aspirations in that office. And I think as it grows, it's going to allow us to have better ways to connect and have the time and resources to be able to do that. So absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you. So one of the things that I asked Mayor Orman, and I'll put to you as well, is every community had a different origin story. In Indian community here itself, there are first generation Indian people like myself who lived in India and migrated, and then there are second generation and third generation kids as well, and the second and third generation maybe are more plugged in into the community. They have more, connections, contacts, way of talking, understanding of the area compared to first generation people like me.
Right.
And that's one of the things that and my wife used to work in small nonprofits before she started working in our company, and she brings that perspective of equal access is not equal for all the communities. When you say it, you have to actually make it equal. And that's kind of where I wanted to have you answer this. Is that something that you think, if you are elected to the position, you would particularly do to assist small businesses and minority-owned businesses have access to the city contracts?
Absolutely, Ayush. I think the city must, at the end of the day, choose the best contractor for the job. But there are many ways the city can help local small businesses thrive and ensure that all businesses are treated fairly in contract bidding. I think it starts with data. We need to have regular tracking by the city to help measure how well we're doing in engaging with small businesses. We also need to have active engagement with these small businesses to inform them of upcoming opportunities so they have the opportunity to bid on city projects. There are some other things we can do, like unbundling large contracts by breaking them up, which can allow small businesses to compete for projects where there's certain portions of the contract, and it's not just solely a benefit of the largest companies because they can do everything under the sun, right? We also need to provide training through workshops to help support small businesses better compete for projects by helping them understand the process. Other cities have created mentoring programs where larger businesses, and they could be minority owned, help advise smaller businesses on the process and give them advice on how to best compete. And really, we need to, the final two things are, we need to have partnerships with stakeholders like the Chamber of Commerce for Bentonville, state agencies, and the Small Business Administration to make sure we're promoting it and making it available for everyone. And it's not something where, a small business goes, oh, I didn't even know about that contract. I would have loved to have bid on it, which brings you back to transparency. We need clear communication with all businesses, including minority businesses, so everyone's aware of all the opportunities. I mean, we can make it fair for everyone, but it's going to take an intentional effort so that we're showing a good faith effort. There are a number of times when I'm in city council meetings and I hear the phrase that just kind of rubs me the wrong way, where someone will make a motion to waive competitive bidding. That happens far too many times in city council meetings. We need to make sure that we're opening it up for bid. Also, something the city has done, which I don't agree with in city council meetings, is at the beginning of every meeting, the mayor leans over and asks Councilman Suter to if he has a motion to make. And he does make a motion that they suspend the rules of basically communicating to the public on 3 separate days of items that are going to be on the city council agenda for a specific date. That in itself restricts the amount of information put out by the city and makes it more difficult for people to understand what's coming up for bid so they can be well aware of it and they can have a chance to compete for it.
Thank you so much.